Welcome to Section 31, episode number 263. I'm Dan Hammond.
And I'm Rogue Schindler.
This week we're going to talk briefly about Rogue's adventure up to WonderCon. We've got 2 pages worth of Wondercon and Errata to talk about, plus a few new cards from Strange Bedfellows we can chat about. And there's baseball going on in the background, so we'll be brief. Happy opening day.
Woo!
So you made a drive up to there?
Drive, yes. We drove up. We didn't make it the whole weekend because Caitlin had to work on Friday, and as it turned out, that was actually a huge boon for me because that meant the day I'd already taken off Friday for vacation. For that, I got to instead spend sewing, which I needed every last minute. But then we drove up Saturday morning on about 3 hours of sleep. Met up with the rest of her costume group so they could get ready, do makeup and everything. And since I was up already that early, and I had finished my costume, I was going to do it on Sunday because I thought I'd be too tired. But I was like, I've got 3 hours to kill, so I'm gonna go ahead and do my makeup and get my hair ready and everything. So I went ahead and did mine, and we went out and had a really good time actually. It was a lot of fun. Well, we were both working on independent last-minute costumes, and we were both having a really rough time of it for different reasons. And so it wasn't so much as an excited weekend as it was an obligation, even though it really wasn't. We were just kind of making it that for ourselves. But we ended up having a fantastic time. Once we got everything done and we were ready and out and in costume and having people appreciate it, we had a really good time. And getting to meet it. They're doing a really great job of running that show in Anaheim, which, as it turns out, is now that they've gotten really good at it, not really going to matter anymore. Since apparently next year it's going to be in Los Angeles.
Oh.
Which they announced at literally the last minute of the con. They always have the last panel of the con is always feedback for that year, and it's like, oh, by the way, next year is going to be in Los Angeles because they're going to be renovating the Anaheim Convention Center. Now they say it's only a 1-year contract, but that's what happened when it was in San Francisco. Moscone Center was being renovated, and they couldn't have it there, and so it came down to Anaheim for a 1-year contract, and then they were going to go back to San Francisco, and there were negotiation problems and scheduling problems, and it's been in Anaheim for the last 4 years. So we'll see what happens, but that's at least a year or 2 years away before I start worrying about that.
Right. All right. Well, so how many days and how many costumes?
2 days and, oddly, just 2 costumes. Again, inhibited partially. Well, so here's the thing about WonderCon is it's kind of a smaller con. It's really the first con we go to in a given year, and so it's kind of our shake out the cobwebs, pull out whatever is in the closet, and throw on some old costumes and just kind of go out and have fun. This is the first year we've both actually went out of our way to make new costumes for this con, and it was kind of exhausting. And just getting that done, it was like, all right, we're going to do this and wear it all day because we work so hard on it, and then the next day we're going to wear casual stuff and just relax. So for those of you who don't know, I've been posting like crazy on Facebook about it, but I put together Avatar Roku from The Last Airbender, originally for a group of avatars, which was going to be a lot of fun, but a lot of them couldn't make it, and so we decided to reschedule. And at some point, about a month ago, I just decided, you know what, I'm going to do mine anyway. And it was mostly finished. It was certainly wearable, and I had a really good time. And I was remarkably surprised how many people got it.
Yeah, well, it's kind of an obscure character from a show that not many people watch. But if you're going to go to a place and dress up as somebody from Avatar is probably a pretty good get.
Yeah, and I was like you said, I think the longer it's been on, the more people know about it, and the more popular it's been getting, even though it's off the air. Legend of Korra has kept it going and actually made Avatar more popular, just because people are growing up watching that and going back and watching the old one, and a lot of people, not even just recognized that I was from that world, but I did get a few, firebender of some kind or fire lord, but a lot, the majority of people were like, "You're Avatar Roku," and right away. Like, wow, I can't believe how many people got it, and I can't believe there were like 3 Aangs. Because Aang's a tough costume, he's bald.
Sure.
That's an obstacle. I figured I'd run into some Korras, and I did, which was awesome. But yeah, I got some Aangs. There was a couple Avatar wands, the very first Avatar from the flashback episodes of Korra, which was really cool. And so I got to take pictures with all of them. I got a picture with the littlest Toph Earthbender. She was like 3, and she had all the attitude of a Toph, her little pose. So it was a lot of fun, and I got some great pictures out of it, and I had a really good time. And I can't wait to do it again with actual avatars.
So the costume you were going to, is that the guy that looks like the president of the Federation of Planets from whichever country?
Without the red face, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, he's got that same kind of hair and beard and mustache. Yeah.
Did you have all the get up?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, nice.
I got it was my first time doing a beard that big, but I did it all individually. Little bits of hair, not every single hair individually, but small bits, and I layered it up, and I was pretty pleased, having done one that big before. It turned out pretty well, and I could eat because the mustache was like just from the corners here and down, so I didn't have anything on my lip hanging down and have me eat hair every time I took a bite of something.
I'm looking at, because I'm thinking back to the cartoon, right? I remember what the guy looked like. I'm looking and started, searching for the name of the president. There's no name for that guy. He's the Efrosian president, and that's it.
Really? Not even on like Trek or something?
I'm looking at Memory Beta. They say his name is
Memory Alpha.
Gorgatai or something from an A.C. Crispin novel, but or is that anyway? Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe that's why he doesn't have a card, because he doesn't have a name.
Yeah.
What was the second day in the second costume?
Second day, I just wanted to relax and not have to do too much, so I took Mal, Captain Reynolds from Firefly, because it's a comfortable costume and I could get into it pretty easily. But even in that, I got a lot of recognition, including a brief panicked excitement from a horde of people who one person was like, "Oh my God, it's Nathan Fillion!" and like 10 people turned around and almost immediately started to mob me until they were like, "Oh no, that's not. It's just a Mal cosplayer person." I was like, "Whoa!" But nice.
Wow.
It was a nice compliment from the one person, and none of the people who turned around, like shockingly looking for Nathan Fillion, went, "That guy looks like nothing like Nathan Fillion." There was a couple like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, but that's not him." But I could see it, So
that's
that was
funny.
nice.
Of all the folks, of all the the actors who would show up at a con, I would not be surprised to see him put on the outfit and then go to a con.
Oh, absolutely. Especially a smaller con like that, just wander in and see what happens. I mean, it's like that year. It was a couple of years ago. Hugh Jackman went to Comic-Con on Sunday as Wolverine and got nobody. And he was talking about, it's like, yeah, nobody mobbed me thinking it was me. They were just like, oh yeah, that's pretty good. And it got a couple people who were like,
I've seen better.
Yeah, I've seen better. So you never know what you can get away with.
Awesome. That sounds great. I can imagine that being a lower threshold costume as well. So good con would do again.
Yeah. I enjoy that. It's kind of low key. It's about what Comic-Con used to be the first year that we went to it. That level of it's still kind of busy, but it's not overwhelming, and you get a chance to do things. I went and did some game demos, which was pretty cool. I found one that was like Adventure in the National Parks, and it was kind of a semi Ticket to Ride style map game, but over different national parks, and so it was kind of educational. So you get to see what the parks were and and collect tickets to them. And I stopped and played one that Charlie had told me about called Super Fight.
Super Fight.
Which was kind of entertaining. I could see it being an interesting party game. Basically, it's it's like a cross between Cards Against Humanity and Snake Oil. I don't know if you were there when we played Snake Oil.
No, but that's an awesome name for a game.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it is. Snake Oil is you have a handful of cards and you pick any two of them and try to sell the judge on that. Like, this is the thing you need because here. And that's what this is. It's like there's a deck of heroes and there's a deck of powers, and you get a hand of each, and you get to play one of each, this hero with this power against somebody else's hero and power, and then you flip a random power off the top of the deck to each player, and then everybody else at the table has to judge who wins. And the players can argue for who they want to win, and there's a base game, and then there are a bunch of side decks like, well, this deck adds this level of powers, and this deck is this themed cards. This deck adds locations. So these two guys with these powers might be equally matched, but if then they're in the North Pole, well, then obviously Captain Cold has more of an advantage over Human Torch or something. And maybe they're in this situation, and so there's different decks, and they kind of did the Cards Against Humanity business model, but they released the main deck and like 6 side decks all at once. So I'm kind of like mixed feelings about whether or not they've flooded their market before it exists, or if they're actually it's a good idea they're creating a modular game where people can just pick the things they want and not the rest.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, that goes against the collector vibe of gotta get everything.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you get a good game and people get going, then you just release a new set, a new expansion every couple of months, and people buy it because it's the only new thing there is. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about just dumping everything out there, but they also had an adult pack, which added some, Cards Against Humanity vibe to it, which was pretty entertaining, and it wasn't too far to that spectrum, but it was definitely, more of an adult theme.
Did you pick up a copy?
I did not. I had an entertaining time, but I was still on the fence, and I wasn't sure which expansions to get. So I was kind of thinking it'd be more of a maybe we'll try this as a bigger group at a future con.
I was going to say maybe we can get together and try it out at Origins.
That's what I was thinking.
I kind of know someone who would probably want to buy it because they want to buy games.
Yeah, it was kind of weird because I wasn't there. I get very compartmentalized about my cons, and I wasn't there to game. So when I saw games, I was kind of like, my brain went the other way. But it was fun. I had a good time.
Right on. All right. So that leads into the next thing I wanted to mention is Origins. You had sent a note that the grid's going up soon to sign up for events, and I am looking at purchasing some tickets right now so I can fly out there with family. So are we going to try to do a tournament on Saturday like we've done sometimes in the past?
Maybe. My opinion of this in the past has been, we play Star Trek all the time. So I want to go and play other things, but I'd at least stop by for Tribbles. I think last time.
Let's try that.
Exactly. I think last time we went 2 years ago, we couldn't even get enough people together for a 2E game. So, I know a lot of the players there aren't necessarily the local players aren't really local. It's still kind of a haul for them to get there, and if they're not already going to Origins anyway,
well,
it might be tough.
I wonder what it would be if we, because we're there with a couple of other friends. There's not going to be as many of us as there are in a normal year. It's kind of an off year for a group, but I wonder how many of them we could hand a deck to and say, let's go play Tribbles, and sit down for an hour, and so we can get a couple of games in and then go off to dinner or whatever.
Yeah. Now that sounds like a good idea. Like that sounds like something we could do every night.
Yes, it does. But for the locals, at least one night we can go down to the food court, have a game, and then
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. So there were a couple. Let's see. Since we've talked, a few new cards have been released for a strange bedfellows, including this Martok with the icon in the left corner that I thought you might find amusing.
Yes.
And there was also some one errata that got dropped, a couple of pages, a page and a half or so. Call it page and 4/9. Um, what do you want to talk about first?
Well, that Martok is pretty badass.
Yeah. So DS9 gets another color to go add to the rainbow. 868 is pretty good. Only costs 3.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the fence, especially with the holding cell having just got that errata. Not to jump topics, but adding the 6 DS9 personnel, I'm totally in favor of there being a DS9 Martok. I think that's thematically appropriate, especially for the later seasons. I think he still has a really good flavor, really good Klingon flavor, with that, the interrupt discarding and the gaining skills from the discard pile. It's basically a DS9 promise.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's very very themey. I like the way they did that. That he's representative of the Klingons on the station, and he's representative in his ability. That's pretty neat. I wouldn't say he adds much as far as skills to the party.
No.
Honor leadership nav officer. That's
pretty
something
stock.
You're gonna have if you're playing the bridge crew anyway, or the ops crew, I guess. Right?
Sure.
But gaining skills and attributes from the discard pile and adds a beefy 8 integrity.
Yeah, he's not there to bring his skills. He's there to gain other skills.
Yeah. Is it, what am I thinking of? Interrupt that you discard cards and then gain skills?
Yeah, it's that...
Inside, Second Life, Hidden, something.
Wait, what?
It's a Trill thing.
Oh, the Rite of Emergence?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of the other one. I was thinking of the Klingon one where Worf swings at the... It's like from Energize. It was like you play an interrupt and discard an interrupt to cancel an interrupt, or...
Yeah. No, I was thinking about using that to get just, I hope I discarded personnel. Oh, look, I get
Oh,
skill.
yeah.
Oh, look, Martok has more things he can get.
Yeah, that's good. And then, Martok is gaining skills. You give him Treachery. He's a Treachery DS9 personnel. And he can, confess in the moonlight.
Wow, that's ridiculous. I would have a hard time limiting myself to just 40 or so cards, because I would want to do all the things at once.
Yeah, that's always the problem.
Yeah. All right.
Moonlight. That works, right? It's not just fed. Oh no, it is fed. Boo.
Oh, good. All right. Well, not good, but it would be interesting to have 4 or 5 ways to get skills at once, and you just don't know what's coming next.
Yeah.
Although,
I like your concept of you're not too worried about throwing people away because you can at least still try to get access to their skills that way.
Yeah. All right. Also, A Day Long Remembered. Well, that's the second Star Wars title after Mob Points. When your Klingon is attempting a non-alpha mission, attributes +1 for each assault maneuver in your core until the end of that mission attempt, up to +5. So the first time I saw this, I thought it'd be fun for the Delta Klingon deck, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And they need the help.
Yeah, that would be great. Not just for adding to the Gamma Quadrant.
Yeah, I have to assume that's why they went non-alpha rather than specifying gamma. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But then it does have that gamma theme with the. This is clearly the search for the sword. But then that's a good that's a good AI bait already. You can get an AI of this in the future with the Delta crew.
Yeah, that'd be great. Somebody from that crew, that'd be awesome. All right. Well, we could chat for another 3 minutes and hope the next card that pops up at 9 o'clock is something interesting, or we could jump over and talk about some errata in first edition.
Yeah, no, let's look at the errata first.
All right. So there are a bunch of cards here, and I think some people will be happy to see a lot of cards come off the ban list for sure. Uh,
Yeah, there are definitely some anti-ban list people out there who would be excited to have these go away.
I'm looking at three dilemmas that were staples for quite a while: Spatial Rift, The Weak Will Perish, and Your Galaxy is Impure. Uh, do you think them coming back in this kind of weakened state is enough to, make every dilemma pile not just automatically revert back to them, or do you think people will be like me and think, "Ooh, these dilemmas were good. I'm putting them back into mine right now."
Well, I think that'll be a knee-jerk reaction,
Yeah.
but you still got to go through. Like I looked at them and I'm still trying to figure out what changed. I was kind of bummed with the way that article came out. It was like, here are these things, and some of them changed, and we're just going to put this up here, and you could figure it out.
Yeah,
Because
there
it's been
was not
so
a lot
long
of.
that it's like these look vaguely familiar. That sounds just like what I was playing with before, and you have to go through and click through to each of the search ones to look at the old version and come back to the new version.
Yeah. So Spatial Rift used to say two personnel present disappear unless their combined cunning is less than 15. Right? Am I right?
Yeah.
And now it just says if their cunning is greater than less than 15. Um, I'm gonna do a quick search to make sure that's right. But that means it's no longer immediately a dead stop if those two people don't pass. So,
So it only disappears the first time, and then after that, it's a to get past.
well, no, you still would hit it again, but you don't have to go in with a crew of all cunning 7 and 8 people and hope you get a 7 and an 8, so that you can get to the second part, right? Because before, uh,
Because it said unless you could only do the first part,
yes,
not the second part.
yeah,
Okay.
pull it up here. Uh,
Well,
the
that's marginally less boner.
Yeah, and it was 14 before. Now it's 15. Hmm. Wait a minute.
Wow. Jeez. Okay.
No, and it's backwards. Hold on a second. Two personnel present, random selection, disappear unless their combined cunning is greater than 14. Two personnel present disappear if their combined cunning is less than 15. All right. So if you were 15, you were fine before, and you're fine now. Okay, so that didn't change. It just turned it around, so it got rid of the unless and turned it just flipped the sign. That's fine. So no change there. But
Okay.
Uh, but to get past, so yeah, so
Oh, I
previously,
see. I see. Because
yeah,
it's unless it had to be.
had to be
Okay. All
opposite.
right.
Yeah. All right. So now, if I were to, in the previous version, if I would attempt with two guys who were dumb, they disappear. That's it. It goes back underneath. Now, if I hit it with and two guys that are dumb get picked, I'm still facing a dilemma. So I can still get past it if I have Astro and two Engineer.
But excluding the disappearing folks.
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't have
Yeah,
to
that's
have
much
all of them at
better.
once. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
much.
much better.
All right. Let's see. Next is the weak will perish, and this just changed all kinds of ways, right? It used to be kills everyone.
Was it an attribute less than 5 instead of strength?
Yeah, that was
Ah,
a
okay.
printed attribute. It used to say kills each personnel as any printed attribute less than 5, and each universal rogue or universal Borg drone present.
So that limited the Borg.
Which wasn't that bad. Now it only kills 5, which is still a lot. And each personnel has a printed strength less than 5, so I guess now it's appropriate to the title "The Weak Will Perish" and not just the dumb and the treacherous. The unsavory will perish.
uh,
All right. So that got a lot easier, but it'll
yeah,
still kill the weak people, I guess, and it
it's
still
still
needs that.
pretty heavy duty. Yeah,
Uh,
even if it is
yeah,
printed.
yeah. And the last dilemma on here is, boy, arguably one of the strongest from before. Your galaxy is impure, because this just killed people over and over, and it was by choice. And
Yeah.
now it's different player's choice, right?
Oh, it's your choice. Okay.
So previously it said place on mission now and at the start of each mission or scouting attempt here kills one personnel opponent's choice. So now someone randomly dies and then
So
it
the
goes.
first time is random, and then after that, it's
I get to send Ensign Ricky at it every time.
that's still
Still someone has to die.
You're still bleeding people, and you have to keep playing people together. Man, that's still really good. That's still like Voyager level overly good.
So these are all three still pretty strong dilemmas. They're all three dual.
Yeah, because
I'm
I
gonna
needed to
expect to see all three of these.
because we needed to have a game where I can play this and Kobayashi Maru on the same mission.
Ooh. Yeah, that's really what it was, wasn't it? 2 of these
Yeah.
and then 6 Kobayashis.
Yeah, that sounds like lots of fun.
All right.
Way to bring that back.
All right. Well, moving on. There's Launch Portal. It looks like they redacted the part where you can launch all your ships during a mission attempt and escape past dilemmas. So that's good.
That was really the big thing, right?
That was pretty much it, yeah. So now you can use this to go fetch engage shuttle operations, escape pod. In fact, you can get escape pod during a mission attempt. It's just that you can't do the eject everyone onto a launch ship during a mission attempt, it looks like. So that's good. You can still use it to save your crew, but it's about to blow up.
Yeah, which is the whole point. That was,
Yes.
What it was used for.
You can't look at the dilemma, see what's there, and then eject yourself.
Nope, I'm out.
Yep. All right. Access denied came back without the adding.
Yeah. Well, this looks pretty obvious.
Computer skill, yeah. So you can still use it to download fractal encryption code, which in some posts I saw from Ken, it looks like that was a key to getting around outgunned. Did you see that at all?
In play, no.
Okay.
I heard about it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
I still feel like the other text was more important to get rid of.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But I'm glad to see this come back because outgunned is, well, it's really strong. So
yeah, I'm glad to see the turn time on that because that was a pretty clear cut. I mean, that was a long time coming. It should have happened way sooner. Just it going away, and with the current issues with the outgun, I'm glad to see that turnaround and came back with the needed parts and getting rid of the crap.
Yeah, no disagreement here. All right, holoprogram Fortress of Doom. This used to be just a free play every turn. Now it's in place of your normal card play, so it's kind of in line with the other holoprograms and play engines.
Nice.
Yeah, and instead of being locked out if they don't have a hologram, your opponent can discard 2 cards now to attempt a mission. Okay.
All right.
I guess I never had to face the evil that was the holoprogram lockout deck, right?
No, I did not either.
All right. Where opportunities are made, or did you want to go something else on that, or do you want to move on?
No. I was just actually I was anticipating the where opportunities are made because this was a frustrating. It was an exciting deck that I wanted to play, and then it was frustrating when I got out there and found out it didn't work how it was supposed to.
Yeah. So let's jump ahead and talk about the Dosi trade vessel as well. So you played the deck. How is this different, and what makes this better?
Well, it plays to the planet now. It plays to the Dosi planet. The facility there, apparently, because it's a station instead of an outpost,
Doesn't have automatic reporting rules.
Yeah, you can't play. You just can't play the ship there. And that was the whole point. Why did you even make this ship to go there if you can't play it there? And it lost me a game because I couldn't get past. I was trying to get my Ferengi past my opponent's Dominion, and I was like, whoa, well, I'll play my Dominion ship so we can zoom over there and hop on that ship and we'll be good. Oh no, sorry, you can't play that there. It's like, what good is it? Why does this exist? So, I mean, obviously, and I guess it was just an oversight. That was clearly what it was meant to be, and how these were meant to work, and so now it does.
All right, and where opportunities are made, it looks like they added that you can mix and cooperate with your Dosi and ships. That's a change, right?
I thought you could cooperate before, but you had to. I don't know. You had to jump through a lot of hoops to get it done.
Okay.
And now it just works like a treaty, I believe.
All right. Well, let's see. The previous one said your personnel may report as if Gamma mix and cooperate with your Dosi Crema ships and facilities and report to Dosi Trading Post. And now we've got Mix and cooperate with you. All right. Someone who's played this before and has done some reading perhaps will explain exactly what the difference is here, but I can appreciate how getting them to work how they're supposed to is just just that would be rough to go to have it all set up and then it just doesn't work. So very good. Good on the team for getting that back to how it's supposed to be. You want to take loss of orbital stability?
I do. I want to take it out and burn it. Yay. Except that's what they did already. So yeah, playing on a ship in an orbit, orbiting a planet, which is what it did before. Now it has no range. Orbiting a planet, at a planet mission.
Yeah, so now you can't play it on a landed ship.
Ah, okay. That makes sense. It has to be in orbit for it to lose orbital stability.
Makes sense.
Ship has no range until the end of turn and is destroyed at the end of the turn unless shields greater than 4.
So the big change, I guess, is that it's no longer a response to moving, so you can't say, okay, I'm going to move my ship, and you say, no, you've got a loss of orbital stability. Now you would have to play it. I get a chance to at least move my ship before you can throw one of these on me.
Okay, so if you
forgo your entire turn and do nothing but move your ship, I can get the jump on you and move one mission before you drop one of the 5 that you drew into.
That does not seem to help.
Well, I could get my ship to a space mission and then move around a bit and not have to worry about that. But yeah, that's still pretty rough.
That's still wow. Way to take something that was at lame level 11 and knock it down to 10.
Yes.
Wow, I really don't see how that's any better. Because I could skip my turn before and get move if I've luckily happened to be next to a space mission.
No, you couldn't, because as soon as you move, because previously it said it modified the range such that I could use it as a response to your movement, and then you'd be stuck. So yes, it was way above the annoyance level, and now it's still just super annoying. I would say that
I am not a fan of that.
Yeah, I would not be surprised to see people still stock this and use it as annoyingly as it was before. I didn't have to face the wrath of a deck with a bunch of these outside of a sealed event, but I'm not looking forward to it, so we'll see how it goes.
Wow, that really doesn't make me want to play anymore. That's really, really, I don't see that negating even a little bit how much people were playing with this before. Because the decks I was seeing it in were the decks that were stocking interrupts like crazy so they could probe for them in other mains. And so having these in their deck would still be useful. And even if I only get to slow you down a little, I'm still knocking you down to 1 move every turn. I mean, the way you're describing it was the way I was playing against it before. I guess the people who I was playing against either weren't doing it correctly or were just not as mean as other people who were playing it because they were doing it as an action.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is basically what I was playing against already.
Which was annoying, yes.
Which is very, very annoying.
Yeah, it's going to be rough in a deck with just one ship. It's going to be rough in a deck with 2 ships and your opponent drew into both of them. It's lose a turn pretty much.
Yep. No, not good. Bad all the way around.
Like I said, I expect it to be played a lot, and we'll see how it goes. Right. Well, let's move on. 3rd to 5. They changed it to say Borg Scout Vessel instead of your Scout Vessel, so now he doesn't work on the Romulan ship anymore. All right, that's great. No, I mean, that's a good change. I'm glad to see that.
Yeah.
Something similar with Taurus. Not Tarsus. Simon Tarsus is not feeling suicidal today.
No.
Taurus is feeling like a Magic Commander again, because they uncapitalized the word Warbird, and by the grammar rules that we have in 1st edition, she was no longer the captain because there is no Warbird Harkonna. Now she's captain of the Harkonna again. But, you know what? Now we've got a high-res version of Taurus, so I don't care.
Yay!
It's one of those Q Continuum cards. It's got the little Q flash icon. I like it. So I'll take it.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, and we actually get to have the Q flash on it.
Yeah, it's beauty. I like it.
Nice.
Yeah, and she was always a good card, even back in the day. So,
yeah.
Stuff. Regina went through. Let's see. The change to Regina, I believe, is It's not unlimited. Now you can do it twice a turn. And one more thing. What was the other thing?
Does she have to be with Moriarty? I thought she had to do that before.
Let's see. Regina Bartholomew. She used to say, with Professor Moriarty, copies of personnel under holoprogram Baker Street may report for free. So now it's unique personnel only.
Unique.
Which is good.
Yeah.
And twice a turn. So you can get 2 free reports if you've gone through all that work. Okay. All right, I'll take it. That's a great. The only thing I lament is that there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 extra words. So that means she lost a line of flavor text. On the other hand, her lore only previously was 2.5 lines, so I guess she only lost half a line. Adventurous, Countess, fictional character, survivor, Sherlock Holmes stories, romantically involved in Moriarty. Fictional character, Sherlock Holmes. All right, well, okay, I guess I didn't lose the keywords or anything. I thought she was a professor or something. I'm thinking Professor Moriarty. All right, move on. Last one. It's really 2, but it's 1 really. It's the pole swing maneuver. Can you tell what changed here? Someone ran a spell check and spelled maneuver correctly.
Wow.
Yeah. So on the original Enterprise Collection card, maneuver was spelled wrong. I don't know if they. Well, I don't even know if they did the same error on purpose just to copy it on the Tactic expansion, the Baja expansion card. But well, for what it's worth, now it's spelled correctly. At least they're both spelled the same, so we can't have somebody arguing that they're different cards. Because
Yeah.
There you go. It's spelled correctly, so print out fresh copies, slide them in behind your real copies, so if you ever want to use them. We got a hyper spanner, Stockron Straight, and Teflon Prime. Couple missions. Any other thoughts about first edition before we jump back to second edition?
Teflon Prime? Did you say Teflon Prime?
Yeah. I said Teflon, but Teflon is
okay. I was like, what? All right. No, I have no further thoughts other than seeing the Gen Con schedule today and going, well, I wonder if I really want to play in these high-level events anymore. And I think now I have my answer.
But how are you going to get the nifty whatever it is Continental?
I will raffle for it.
Fair enough. All right, let me close the errata page and take a look at these 3 new cards. We've got a Hyper Spanner, a 1-cost unique. That is a weird-looking picture. Something about the colors on there don't. Anyway, while at a Gamma Planet mission, each of your engineer personnel present gain Anthro and Geo. Very similar to the Coil Spanner. Wait a minute. The Hyper Spanner and the Coil Spanner are exactly the same picture, except one is blue and the other is red.
Yeah,
and
so
the person
don't
holding
mix
it Okay. All right. So if you get a chance, take a look at
wow.
back and forth.
And their shirt.
Their shirt changes because the Coil Spanner is held by an officer. And the Hyper Spanner is held by an engineer, so that's a gold.
Sure, yeah, because that's who gets the benefit. Duh.
All right, I love it. That's funny.
Nicely done.
Not to be confused with the Coil Spanner. Very good. All right, that's fun. All right,
well,
so another neat event to just give yourself more people. Triple your skills for one event on people. Stackeron Strait, patrol shipping lane.
So another Gamma, anybody can do it mission, but this one comes with, so these attribute requirements look a little high, but your opponent's dual dilemmas revealed here are cost +1.
That's pretty rough. There are a lot of decks that play, 2 or 3 space dilemmas and 2 or 3 planet dilemmas, and the rest dual. I know I'm guilty of that, just because I there's nothing I don't like more than drawing cards I can't play.
So, what is the? Oh man, that's a hell of a cost benefit analysis must have been done for this to come up with, because you're coming in with probably another person's worth
Yep.
of attributes there.
You're probably coming in with an extra person, so you're giving them an extra counter. But if most of their cards are duels and they play 2 or 3 dilemmas, they're going to be, it's like attempting with 3 less people. So you're net -2.
Yeah. So they have to play at least one dual dilemma for you to break even, and
Yeah.
another before you come out ahead.
Well, I can't imagine not playing a dual dilemma. I mean, I know I'm sure there are achievements for playing without dual dilemmas, and I'm sure people have won
Sure.
without them. But man, that's a lot of.
Yeah, and
I think,
the longer you attempt, and the more you're trying to draw with less cards, trying to get something that you can play. And those cheaper cards are, man, that's tough. You're more likely to skate through
4 cost hard time and
later attempts.
yeah. Man, that doesn't even eject the 0 costers that are supposed to be the meta type dilemmas too. It's everything.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. That's going to be an interesting couple of weeks as people start playing with these missions and everyone rushes to change their dilemma piles to more, more planet and space only, and then
Yeah.
people stop playing with these and. I mean, because look, if you imagine a tournament where 2 of your opponents are playing with this, and then one of your opponents playing, a Khan, and another person is playing Voyager. So you're hosed if you're playing all duels. You're hosed if you're playing a lot of space. You're hosed if you're playing a lot of planet.
Yeah. This is I can see where this is going, trying to encourage the lack of dependence on dual dilemmas, but it's frustrating because it feels like all of the things that help you try to get away with not using dual dilemmas are all event-based, and as soon as any of that crap hits the table, it gets blowed up.
It does get blowed up, yeah. And there seems to be more things more ammunition to blow things up with the set too.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's tough. No, we want you to play this way, except that no, you can't play that way.
Yeah. Do you think that leads to more rock paper scissors type games, where either I'm playing with this and event destruction, or I'm not playing without this and without event destruction? That means it's going to be that much faster because you've got all these event killer cards and I don't have any events.
I've certainly run into that before. In fact, that always seems to be the way. I can only ever draw my event destruction against people who aren't playing events. But
yeah, I know what you mean.
That's why I'm a fan of, like, the more we play, the more I am a fan of just using things that are on missions or on people, because I'm so tired of playing the Sense Alter War style of game. It's like, oh, I spend all my counters on this stuff that is not going to stay on the table because you're just going to blow it all up.
Yeah. All right. Well, game text on a mission. That won't be going away. So there you go. Speaking of game text on a mission, Teflon Prime has no game text.
No. In fact, it's pretty straightforward. I'm interested because we've talked a lot about how hard it is for the Dominion to stay in the Gamma Quadrant to do missions, particularly with their not skillless but pretty limited pool of skill Jem'Hadar people trying to do their super fast strength missions. Well, here you go. Here is a Gamma Quadrant, simple skills. These are all Jem'Hadar skills, strength 30, 30-point Dominion only mission.
2-span. Wow, that's just. How do you not play with that?
I don't see how. I mean, it's more insurrection bait, but I think even then it's still worthwhile.
When your guys are 8 and 9 strength, getting to 40 strength is still pretty easy.
Yeah, I take the insurrection and then I get another dilemma somewhere else. That's fine by me.
Yeah.
This seems pretty very, very good for the Dominion.
Yeah. Neat. All right. We've talked about a con. We've talked about 1E. We talked about 2E. Baseball's still going on. It's like the bottom of the seventh for the Oakland game and the top of the seventh for the San Francisco game. So,
Well,
do you
did
have
we
anything
hit
else?
the 2E errata? I mean, I
Mm,
mentioned the holding cell, but we didn't really look at the other stuff. I mean, it's all
yeah,
pretty
you're right.
straightforward.
Holding cell, straight and steady, Yelgren.
Straight and steady is
Yeah.
pretty expected. They made it enterprise only.
Yeah, that's good to see.
Yeah. Yellowgrin eliminates the looping, so you just get cards back from the bottom of your deck now.
All right. How about Patol?
Do dilemmas go
Oh.
on the bottom now instead of using back to the top?
All right. I guess that's so you're not using them to peek ahead. You're just using them for the cost replacement. Or the
Well,
cost
and you know what?
discount.
Having just looked at those cards, I think this goes along with that mission we just looked at. It's like I'm gonna look at all those and then put the duels back on top,
Yeah.
and then oh hey look, all your duels are more expensive.
Yikes. All right. Tall alert sub commander added at this mission requirement. He plays personnel at this mission. Report from his hand. Oh, when you play it, okay. So he has to be where the Romulans are showing up. Okay, that's fine.
Right, that makes sense.
Oh wow.
And the Viceroy is probably the biggest one here.
Yeah.
Outside of
Discard the
holding,
Romulan from hand to download event. Uh, yikes.
and it's limited to once per turn. So
And it
you
used to
really
be
have
discard
to.
a card from hand, and now it's discard a Romulan from hand. Interesting.
And it's not even a Romulan card; it's a Romulan card. So
Oh, so you
you can't toss a Riemann, right? Because otherwise you'd have to.
oh.
Because that's a 1E thing, but in 2E it specifically says it's not
Yeah.
Romulan icon, it's Romulan the race.
So you can't pitch that extra ship you drew into or anything else. It's got to be an actual Romulan personnel.
Yeah,
No.
which is kind of funny actually thematically. Viceroy pitching Romulans.
Yeah. No humans. No Ravens.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Riemanns rule.
Hey. Wow. I like this list and the explanation for each. Perhaps we can get that for first edition.
That would be fantastic.
All right. Very good. Anything else?
I think that's it. We both have baseball games to get back to, so
Revised second edition rulebook. Huh. Wow. I look forward to reading through that. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Baseball games to get back to. Yeah.
that's right. That'll be, I'm sure, helpful for as the con season comes up to try to introduce new people in the game. But those are the spoilers this week, and the errata, which was interesting, and the con. If you want to see my con photos, my costume, they're up on my Facebook page, and that's pretty much it. In the meantime, I am Sir Rogue,
And I'm Sir Dan.
and I will remind you all to expand your power in the universe.
And I will draw to end.